I'm going to start recording and streaming, y'all. So if you hop into the Twitch channel, you'll be able to view the video. Full disclosure, I did this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No. What have I done?
Last time on Steel Tranquility, Episode 1, Bored to Death. While Lox and Shriek went off to take care of business, Gary, Lester, and I decided to chase down the hot air balloon. Along the way, there was a magic show. I turned the judge's teeth into cupcake flavor. There was also a nice old lady in purple who gave me a prize and a big hug. We tracked the balloon to a waterfall. At the top, the assistant balloon gnome was being attacked by bats. Because we're super cool adventurers, we saved her, and she explained that the balloon was actually a super science balloon that knows the weather, and we should give it to science. While carrying the balloon up the hill to science, we were attacked by wild boars. I fell down. Lucky for me, Gary and Lester are so strong. The game lady told her boss that the balloon ripped, even though we really gave it to science. Her boss gave us money for saving the assistant. And after that, Lester and Gary wanted to wait in the Dingy Bird, an inn, while Lox and Shriek caught up. And that's the story so far.
Okay. Did everyone get that?
Yeah, I think for next week we also need to know to mute ourselves before we start summary.
It's okay.
I thought
We'll
to do
get
that
there.
just as it was starting.
Yeah. I had.
Yep.
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 All right. So, as one of our players is still betting someone down, we're going to begin at the bar. Now, granted, everyone is currently there. Lox and Shriek have met up with you at the Dingy Bird. It is in the mid-afternoon now, about 3 p.m. The day is still bright and shiny outside, but in this downtrodden bar covered in birds and the things birds leave, the ambience within is quite a different world. It's this nice wood-finished area that's made to look almost like it belongs as part of the dock, with tables and booths, and everything is kept in pristine order inside. Whale oil lanterns are at every table in some foggy glass with just small little candles keeping them lit, creating kind of an almost subdued feeling. Obviously, as the windows would be covered, all of them are shuttered and closed with storm shutters that look thick, and you can see steel bars lined through them. At this point in time, you are just finishing up your meals, wrapping up, starting to possibly even discuss what comes next, when someone comes through the door. Jyotis.
I was gonna say, is that me?
That is so you.
Sorry, man.
Prompted Bob.
What do we do with a drunken ogre? What do we do with a drunken ogre? What do I see here?
Bartender just quietly stares up at you, folds his arms across, and this is an elvish person with relatively short hair. It's silver gray, brushed back, and almost gelled looking. You can see that even though the skin's wiry, well tanned, and the blue markings indicate some sense of familiarity for you in the past.
Indeed.
Meanwhile, you see, in addition to the bartender, in one of the booths is a group of what clearly has to be adventurers, based off of your passive
Mm-hmm.
perception and insight. You have what looks like a tiefling with wings, who's busy floating in the air and refusing to sit down. A gentleman in what could have been a nice suit, who seems very animated. And then everyone else. Would you like to go around and kind of just give a brief physical description of your character for our new player?
Well, my name is Lollipop Rainbow Snuffletoots. I am about 9 feet tall unless I kind of squat down, in which case I'm about 4 feet tall. I look like a giant fuzzy blue kangaroo with a big snout out front and pink spots everywhere and just green tufts of fur along my head and a big puffball on my tail.
I thought I was going to be one of the tall ones.
Firbolgs, man.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll go next. I'm a fairly dark-skinned human with a shaved head and a full beard, wearing leather armor, sitting kind of a little bit like straight, but leaning back more than is probably comfortable. Wearing a short sword on each hip.
Said, not
A
human.
human.
Oh, human.
Dark-skinned human with a shaved head.
Okay.
I'm Lester in Bristlebeard. I am almost 5 foot tall. I have red hair, is graying on the edges. I have weathered skin, working hands, leather vest, leather pants, and axe at my hip, and a beard with braid going down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us back to you.
Ooh.
Yeah, wiry, elven thin, but you know, buff. And I'm wearing studded leather armor that has cobalt blue with silver and gold highlights. And he's got like a pale blue skin tone with cinnamon highlights. His eyes are a glowy red cinnamon color, and he does have hair, unlike the image.
One second.
No problem.
Okay. Apparently, I suddenly thought, like, hey, let's restart the Twitch stream. It was a very weird moment there.
Yeah,
That was-
Yeah, actually,
connection
it
issues.
dropped over here. I had to reload the page to get it to start up again.
Yeah, no, I'm actually having like connection issues. Sorry.
I thought it was me.
Nope, you are fine. My internet speed just suddenly capped out. I do not know. We'll figure it out.
With the
Thank you,
money we pay them.
Thank you, Comcast.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Because it was either that or AT&T, and I hate you both.
Yeah.
hold on. I need to adjust.
This game is not brought to you by AT&T or Com.
right? Or
or anyone for that matter.
Yeah,
but,
Google Fi.
especially not them.
especially Spectrum.
And just to point out, we could have more than Google Fi if we moved into the city, sweetie.
Thank you, honey.
So my guy, he does have cinnamon-colored hair too. I will try to provide a better image, but that should give you a good idea of what it kind of looks like. And yeah, so he's tall, and he's definitely got working hands too. But he's kind of akin to an elf. He looks like he could be almost a moon elf, maybe, but not quite. he's like a mutated moon elf. Like
Bartender just looks you over once. Can I help you, sir?
Do you have any grog?
Always. Any particular flavor you like?
Cinnamon, please.
You want cinnamon grog. It's grog. He reaches down below the bar, grabs a bottle, and plops it up on the counter, proceeds to get a jar of cinnamon, kitchen, starts just shaking it in there.
Thank you.
Puts a cork on the bottle and just, I don't know what you are or who you are, but that said, enjoy. That will be 2 gold for the bottle.
2 gold.
Takes the gold quietly and just, perchance, are you an independent contractor?
I am.
Might have something for you later.
That's good to know. I'm just got in town. I was hoping to make the festival, but I missed it.
Yes, just by that much.
Just by
They're celebrating a successful mission for their
that group over.
Yes. Yes.
Well, might have a chat with them, see what they do.
Well, I have plenty of open rooms, as this is clearly not the Aquarius, but in the meantime, should you need anything, let me know, and elsewise, as soon as things are more in motion, the guild will be letting me know to reach out for you.
I thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
I bid you adieu. I'm going to go check out the conversation over there, if you don't mind.
Do be pleasant. My bar does not tolerate fights.
Oh, no, I don't tend to fight. All right. Then he hopples on over to the table.
That piggy attacked me. It's not a good pig.
It's okay, Lolly. We got him.
Yeah, we got him back for you.
Good day, you folks.
Hello, our new very special friend. What's your name?
Jyotis Ravi. And you are?
I'm Lollipop Rainbow Snuffletoots, but you can call me Lolly. Have you seen this girl? And I pulled out a crayon drawing of Molly.
Don't know that I have. I just got into town today. Is she from here?
I'm not. But I thought I'd ask. If you ever see this girl, please immediately report her to me.
I will do my best.
Can we help you with some?
Oh, I'm just unfortunately I missed the celebrations, and the bartender said that you folks you're celebrating a good job or a job well done. So I was just curious. How was your celebration?
It was eventful, to say the least.
Aye.
We did a job for the local Storm Chaser Guild.
Yes.
We didn't
Storm
quite finish what they wanted, but, we got it done.
You didn't quite finish what they wanted?
Well, we saved the gnome lady assistant.
But we didn't get their balloon.
I wanted the
They wanted one of their weather balloons.
Uh-huh. It's complicated.
I'm sure.
It was
Well?
a very smart balloon. It could
Perhaps if you're going to sit and talk, if you're going to continue to speak, perhaps you should get a chair.
Sure, I'll happily draw up a chair if you'll have me at the table.
Look around at everyone else.
Absolutely. He's our new super best
I
friend.
agree. He's not quite from the Kinkos, but he'll do.
Bingo. Oh, you mean the printing press down the street that we all met at?
Yes, Munder and Difflin.
No, I'm definitely not from there. Grabs a chair from one of the nearby tables, pulls it up, sits on it backwards, looking towards you all. Like with his arms on the back of it.
Ooh, he's cool. I want to sit that way on the chair.
Go ahead, Lolly.
You do not need it.
I can't put my legs around because they're crazy. I'm not that cool.
You're certainly cool. You're 9 feet tall, roughly. That's my guess.
That's why I crouch down so that I'm shorter.
Oh. Well.
Lolly, if you stand up tall, maybe Molly will find you.
Do you really think so?
Perhaps not in here. Perhaps not in here. The ceiling.
Does it say, is it 10-foot ceilings or more like 8-foot ceilings?
Probably 8.
8-foot ceilings.
Yeah, don't stand up tall. You might hurt your head.
When we go outside, Lolly, then you should stand up tall.
You can try outside.
Should I bring the chair with me?
I don't know
Probably
if the
not. They
bartender
might
would
consider
like-
that stealing.
I don't think we want to spend our money on a chair. Leave the
I
chair
could
behind.
craft you a chair, if you want to carry one around with you.
Okay.
The power play.
So what brings you in here today?
Well, I just finished a previous job, and I wanted to come to this town for the festival. Unfortunately, I was a little bit late.
Oh, no. Well, we found all the cool leads. We're going to go where next? The quarry? Question mark?
Quarry?
Probably the quarry.
Is
What do you
that...
need to do there?
What?
Turn to Lester. What do you need to do there?
No, it wasn't my job. My job was the balloon. I
It
believe
was
Shriek.
actually Mr. Locks and Shriek.
Yeah, Shriek needs to go to the quarry. Is he sleeping in?
He might.
Shriek is just quietly fluttering about on his wings because Shriek and Locks are here. They're just not quite as vocal as they normally are. Almost like something happened to them.
I'm sure they'll show up at this particular bar that we didn't tell them anything about where we were going toward.
Remember, you guys actually did meet up back at the guild area. You came to the bar all together.
Mm-hmm.
They're just in the fluttering in the back corner somewhere, huh?
Well, Locks is just kind of sitting there quietly. I'm sure Alyssa has a reaction for him.
Not as quietly as that.
When Locks is quiet for any length of time, I get worried.
Mm.
Watch out, he might be selling you shoes.
Boots.
Yeah, he's usually all like, finger guns, pew pew, I'm Locks, brah. Cool.
Yeah, if you... Well, I don't want to play someone else's character. That said, when you mentioned the quarry, Garret, your passive perception is good enough to notice this, and Lolly, yours is too. The bartender's eye kind of just rises, and he looks over in your direction like he's interested in hearing more.
Ooh, do you know the quarry?
Yes, I do. It's roughly a 2-hour trip out of town. Less than an hour if you ride an Axebeak. It's where quite a few of the brigands are stored, unfortunately. If you break the laws of the city, you're put to work.
Hmm. It is an actual quarry, then.
Oh, yes. Mostly stone to replace all the damage done to some of the smaller cities during the storms.
A granite mine of sorts, or not so dense stone?
Not so dense.
Probably
Something
a
more.
large pile of schist.
Yes. More akin to what most of our city is made from. And Jyotis, you would have known this upon entering Alarissa Mall, that the city is a mostly white stone building with blue metal roofs, because it's made to let rain and wind just whip by and through it. Even though it's within the range of one of the Steel Tranquility lighthouse, you still get the effects of the storm even in a safe. So the city has been built to endure that before they had a lighthouse.
It's a tornado house. No, just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Well, it is interesting that you're going to the quarry. That's... Did any of the guilds hire you for this?
We have to talk to one of them. Gestures over at Locke.
Well, I will say this much. Unfortunately, some rough business at the docks last night wound up getting the majority of people arrested, and several people were dragged off, probably unfairly, as I, for one, happen to believe it's one of the... What is that colloquial term? Gang rivalries going on right now.
A riot in the middle of celebration?
Well, it was in the nighttime, but that said, I think that someone to take something from the docks, and then someone else interfered, and the police seemed to be on someone's side. Whoever side they were on is obviously not the people at the quarry. That said, well, Mr. Garret, you're an upstanding individual who's paid his dues here. Would you and Mr. Jyotis perhaps take a minor task from me?
I'd like to hear the job before I say anything.
Of course. One of the people in the quarry who's been arrested is a member of the gang in town that represents a larger part of a group of sea snakes. The gangs, for short. I would truly be appreciative if that person was forced to tell what they stole from our mutual friends, the Djani. They took something and hid it. We don't know where it is or what it is because they erased the record. You'll know them because they have the tattoo of a snake's eye in the middle of their head. But that's the only information I've received about them.
How long ago was this?
Oh, this was about a week and a half ago. The Djani were going to clean it up ourselves, but that said, if people are already heading over there and you have a freelancer with you well, I'm assuming at least, Jyotis, as you're not wearing guild insignia, that you are an independent contractor?
I am independent, but I was once part of the Dejani, so
As most of us are.
I would like to help you in your quest.
Well, it's not my quest, it's the Dejani's quest. I'm clearly retired.
Ah, you were retired as well. Okay. Well, anything for the company.
What
Very
was the
good.
mark on the forehead again?
The tattoo of a snake eye.
Snake eye.
What's a snake?
Serpent.
Long,
Lower.
slithery lizard without legs.
Cool.
The bartender freezes for a moment and then, well, if you promise all not to jump, it's something like this. And he waves his hand and casts a minor illusion table, and this long, green, winding snake with his beautiful emerald eyes and deadly slits slithers across the table silently. And it comes closer and closer to Lolly before raising its head and then turning to the right to face her. Some are poisonous and some are not. But on this island, most of them are poisonous.
Venomous?
Yes, that one. I always get those two confused. That's why I was
If you
better
eat it,
at...
it's poison.
That's why I was better as a sailor.
If you
What
bite
ship
it
did you
and get
sail on?
poisoned, it's poisonous. If it bites you, you get poisoned, it's venomous.
That is good to know. Jyotis, roll me a persuasion check for that.
I just keep sticking my hand in and out of the illusion. Whoa.
Oh, that's not good. 9.
I'm sorry, but it's not a happy retirement. It just is a
Oh.
retirement. So I prefer not to make mention of things of the past. So
No worries.
If I may, what is the pay for this particular job?
well, counts off. Last I heard, we were going to pay an independent contractor 75 gold to deal with it. That said, I assume that if the information you gather is correct, and you find the item and return it, that your total may be very well over 250 gold, or possibly a run of choice of something out of the duty-free shop that the Dejani run. Like a cat.
A cat worth 250 gold? It's most
A cat that
impressive.
speaks language.
Must be Moculus or something.
A talking cat.
It's like her
Happy
mouth
to do
can-
it, guys.
I'm
will
with
look
Lolly
into
on
it,
this one.
Yeah, I think we can do this.
Very good. Well, do let me know. Even if you don't get the information, if you can at least confirm that the individual alive in the quarry, that would be at least a start. Might be worth something.
Indeed.
Noted.
That said, if you're going to head out to the quarry, are you going roughing it in the evening? The sun does not go down for some time. It won't be down until about 9:15.
Whoa.
9:15 at night?
That's correct.
It's close to summertime.
It is.
What time is it now?
Right now it's about 3 p.m.
I would also like to note that there's a storm coming.
On the
Really?
horizon.
None have been predicted for upwards of 7 days.
That's good. I just know that there's one coming.
We should have
What's
asked
that about a
Alyssa.
science balloon?
They fly in the clouds and they know the weather.
Ah, yes. The storm chasers. Yes, they might have relevant information. Last I've heard from the sailors, it should be 7 days from now. Not a big one. Just the equivalent of a tropical depression. Not even enough to cause a storm season.
That's that 250 gold cat.
Whoa,
I'm
we're
gonna have to
trying to
change your
talk
name.
right now.
I don't
So-
fancy camping if there's a storm coming. Perhaps we should bunk down here tonight and leave at first light.
That sounds all right.
Well, Mr. Garret, your room is already paid for.
Of course.
As for the rest of you, it's typically 5 silver per night.
Did I pay for more than one night yesterday?
I think you did. I think you paid for a 2-night stay.
Ooh.
That said, I will allow you to float one of those days should you need to. I'll write you down on the books.
Thank you.
Best get me a room then.
Yes.
I want one.
All right then. Well, I have enough rooms for all of you, as, once again, most of the travelers prefer to stay in the docks, and most of the sailors prefer to stay on the ship because it's free.
You have rooms. You have any rooms with slightly larger than average?
You mean large enough for that one? And he points at Lolly.
Aye, that I do.
Well, it's theoretically, it's basically 2 queen-size beds rammed together because someone was rather opulent. Owner of the place decided that one of these rooms would be their presidential suite, even though, let's face it, this is a sailor hotel.
So beautiful.
So there's that room. That room is 10 gold, 10 silver, sorry. 10 gold, that'd be funny.
That would be a bit opulent indeed. Can you cover that,
I can.
Lolly?
I can.
Yes?
And I hand
Okay.
the exact change.
Thank you.
Keep it.
I'm gonna
Yes.
give Wally a sideways look like, wow, you counted correctly?
I can count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 silver.
Times 2.
Oh,
And then 5 more.
okay.
Mhm.
1, 2.
Get a long stare.
5 plus
4.
5, honey.
5.
Good.
So I gave you 5, and then I gave you 5.
That's correct.
And that
Yes.
equals 10.
Whoa.
You just counted to 10.
Okay, let me try it again. 1,
Oh, no need.
2,
No need. Thank you.
3, 4,
I don't think you're getting out of this one,
5,
sir.
10.
We'll work on it.
Almost.
Turns towards Garret. You are keeping that one in close company, correct?
That is the plan. Yes.
My dear, how old are you?
Yes. I have an age,
I think he's
Oh,
asking you, Lolly.
and it is
She's cutting out.
more
Oh,
than
darn.
5. Oh, no, can you guys not hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Uh-oh. You can't hear me at all.
Answers by Lolly. Sweet silence.
she's just,
But all the stuff
Georgia.
that I had written
Hi.
up.
Sorry, did I lose
Oh,
you?
there you are back.
you're back.
Yes.
Yay,
We missed
Wally's back.
you.
I'm sorry. I'm getting really bad internet connection back here.
Yeah, I can hear that.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. You know what my life is like here.
Yes. I felt so close to you, Mikey. I might just power cycle the router during break.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably
that's
not a
probably a
bad
good
idea.
plan.
That sounds like a
We're
pretty
hoping
damn
for the
good
best.
plan.
What the heck?
I have no idea what that does.
Okay, but you guys can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. What was your response for how old Lolly is?
I am some number of at least 5, possibly 10, and
At least-
also 0. What's time here? Do you mean what time of day it is?
No, I'm implying as of standard calendar year.
How many winters have you experienced?
0.
My goodness.
Well, I mean, this is a tropical place.
Mm. Right. How many summers have you experienced?
A lot. This is constantly summer here.
Boy.
Uh,
How many full moons have you experienced?
that was my next question. Well done.
There's no moon.
There's no moon. Oh, there's
Face
no
palm.
That does at least reveal something of this one thing. Considering that the
Yeah.
moon has been gone for just over 20 years, this one must be younger than that.
Lolly, have you experienced the moon at all?
Like a drawing?
Have you seen it in
Yes.
real life?
In a crayon.
Oh.
My girl Molly was very good at drawing things. Actually, I drew this picture trying to be as good as she was. Have you seen her? And I hold up the crayon drawing again.
I have not seen that. Although he will actually make an insight check.
Did you say daughter?
No,
Which?
my girl.
Okay.
Don't you have a girl that imagined you into reality and played with you and was your friend?
Uh,
None of us are quite that special.
Not well. It's strangely, it's not unlike that.
Miss Lolly, it was, correct?
Mm-hmm. And I didn't know
Pert.
your name.
Oh, well, it's because I didn't give it to you, unfortunately. But let me correct that for you. Give me 1 second to pull a thing.
I apologize. I'm going to sneeze, I think.
Okay, that's okay.
No, it went away.
Oh my god, why are my notes all disorganized right now? Notes. I'm gonna... Aw.
Mr. Stinky Bird.
No, I have a name for him, and I gave it to Ship, actually. I'm trying to find where I... Let's see, allies...
Oh, you mean the bartender?
Yeah.
What? I thought I wrote it down. Let me check. I did not.
Yeah, no. No, it's like, I know I gave it to him. I know I did.
You did. You said it. You said it. When I first stepped in.
All right, back up the tape. Somebody rewatch it.
I know. My most guilty moment.
While you're searching, Bob.
Wow, you guys
Was
are all
the-
swarming on me, and he doesn't even know his name.
Bob, was the bottle of grog I bought an actual bottle or like a flask?
Actual bottle.
Actual bottle.
Oh, here, let me get that for you.
With bottle grog?
I have a bottle of grog.
And cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
Just
With a bunch of cinnamon
Grog is
dumped
just
into it.
watered down rum. Weird that they would put it in bottles.
He asked for cinnamon grog,
He
so...
said what flavor?
Do I like?
It's just rum and
cinnamon?
water.
It pretty much.
And
with
I see
But
you
you
trying
could-
to
you could
choke
spice
down
it.
this horrible cinnamon beer.
You can spice it.
I cast prestidigitation over it. Now it actually legitimately tastes like cinnamon.
Mhm.
Yeah, it still smells like grog.
Yes.
Burns like
Yes.
grog, but it tastes just of cinnamon. It's
Yeah.
like if someone took Fireball and was like, but I'd like more cinnamon.
And sugar.
Oh my god.
I'm
That's a
horrified.
lot of cinnamon.
Absolutely horrified.
I'm terrified. That's terrified and petrified at the same time.
His name is George.
I am so mad right now because I have no idea where I left this note. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be awesome and leave it for Ship. Like,
I know. I thought I wrote it down, but damn it.
I've
Wow,
got
that's
to...
a weird name. Moving on.
Philly,
It'll suddenly come up like in an hour. I'm like, that's what
Oh,
his
his
name was.
name was.
I'll just yell it out. Deandra.
I believe it was Fairness. I believe
Sounds
that's
right.
his name. That's his name now. It's Fairness.
Fairness.
Baroness, it's so nice to meet you. You had a question?
Potentially, is that little girl perchance a Gith?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Their likeness has not been seen in this realm for hundreds of years, if not thousands.
Oh,
Ages. That's most intriguing.
her
You're
face
less-
kind of falls.
But she doesn't, we don't know how old she is.
Well,
But she's young enough to not know the moon. At the very least.
that is a conundrum. I do still hope the Gith actually exist, but they're...
You just
Um,
said you haven't seen one in hundreds of thousands of years.
Well,
Most
I've
people have.
never
You
seen
look
one.
cool for your age, but
I've never seen one. I just know of them. My parents used to tell stories, and some of the ruins on one of the islands that I visited at one point had statues, and the ears are clearly not goblin shaped.
Hmm.
And the skin is green. Not too many green skinned beings that are correctly proportioned.
yeah, her ears stick up. Goblins kind of go off to the side.
Yes, yes. I caught that detail.
Yeah, because I drew it. Thank you.
Oh god.
Oh,
Bye.
It wasn't me.
I didn't know we had a band playing.
Ah, must be a band across the street.
There's that
Some
music.
extended celebration going on.
Is it those performers walking by again?
Probably the fiddling fiends. So, that said, if you'll want to bed for the night, I will prep dinner around 7ish. Otherwise, you're perfectly welcome to come back. Your rooms will be, well, most of you have rented the rooms, so assume rooms 1 through 7 for most of you. And Molly, room 10.
Molly.
Lolly. Molly is the girl you're looking at. Right. Well, if you want me to, I'll keep an ear out for her, but...
She could not be on this island.
Well, yes. This whole region of the world is vast. It covers from the equator clear down to the South Pole.
Why'd you guys put a pole down there?
It's not an actual pole.
It balances the world.
Oh, okay.
That's in character. My character actually like covers his face, like trying to hold it in.
Thank you, Jerry.
I'm gonna put my hand on
You're very
Garrett's
welcome.
tricep and go, "Thank you, thank you."
There's one at the north too.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's
That
just to
one's
hold
on
everything.
both sides, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. It goes all the way through the center of the planet.
Right.
If I was tall enough, I would totally smack you on the back of the head.
I'm sitting on a chair, so it's probably possible.
I don't think you're sitting next to me.
No.
Probably
He clearly, added himself into this table space. This only worked because Shriek is being weird and flying still.
Gonna knock it down.
Like if you're all sitting in a booth, I pulled up to edge up to the table.
Yeah.
Do you have to go potty?
No? Why?
Sorry, I'm talking to my dog.
Oh, God.
I have to go potty right now.
You need to go before you adventure.
Mhm.
All right,
That
but
said-
when you go adventuring and there's no potty, you're gonna regret it.
You'll have to find a tree.
I'm sure there's a bush up there.
Probably a few. Mhm.
Okay.
Or there's one in the room.
There are no bushes in the rooms. There is a latrine out back, though.
Latrine. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Right.
And
Sailors.
there is a bath,
Sailors.
but you are responsible for getting your own water. And I, unfortunately, do not have hot water at this location without heating a kettle.
That's fine.
Where do we go? Where do we draw the water?
Oh, the bath has access to a freshwater tap. It's just there isn't an option for hot.
Cold showers and baths are always refreshing.
Could I request a few kettles? Because I
Of-
definitely want to clean up a bit.
Of course, Mr. Garret.
Thank you.
He goes to wander off, take care of things, and get stuff ready. It is now about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. You guys have been talking for an hour. Is there anything you would like to do around the city or go exploring?
I want to
We
get
got
cleaned
paid,
up.
Didn't we?
What was that?
Got paid, didn't we?
You got paid 26 gold.
Ooh, did we split that up?
I'm holding on to it, right?
I think so.
I'm gonna split it between
Lolly with money.
me, Garret, Lolly.
One person's going to get a little less.
That's fine.
2 9s and an 8.
I will happily take the 8?
8 is 5, and then 3 more.
Thank you, Kira. You're so smart.
I'd like to add to my stash. But, yeah, I want to go get cleaned up.
Okay. So,
Get all pretty and stuff.
Well, I don't believe I'm very dirty.
Prestidigitation.
I am.
I
So the pig.
You
But,
wear
you know.
dry wet fur this whole day.
9-foot dog smell. I mean, are there still festivities going on, or like did they all end yesterday?
oh yes, tonight there'll be a firework display as well as, I believe, an axe-beak race. The Yenfir's Seekers always hold an axe-beak race through the city. Basically, it's a fun competition.
Sounds intriguing. What time does that start?
It should be right after sundown. Half the challenge is making the axe-beaks cooperate when people are letting off fireworks.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Fireworks.
How many are in the competition usually?
Well, it usually starts with about 20, and normally about 5 people get axed, so to speak, where they make a bird angry. And then, typically speaking, there's at least 10 finishers. And then one of the after parties is going to find the people that didn't quite finish.
Indeed. That sounds like a riot.
Exciting.
Last year's course was quite entertaining. You had to ride beneath Moko Jumbies at one point.
Low bridge.
Moko Jumby.
The stilt walkers, the ones in costume that are going around and taking people's money and dancing.
Ooh,
Those.
taking everyone's money.
That would be a low bridge for an X-Beak.
Well, they're a performer. That said, I also heard Hats and Wares is a sponsor for it this year.
Hats and Wares.
I'm saying mean things to see if Alyssa's paying attention.
Well,
yeah.
on and stay high, Alyssa.
Sorry, Margaret is just being really noisy.
No worries.
She's having a really hard time.
So that low quality shop, hats and stuff or whatever.
Yes, they sponsored the race.
They're sponsoring the race and the fireworks.
Oh no, not the fireworks.
Oh, okay, we can still enjoy fireworks, guys.
The fireworks are probably put on by the city, yes?
Yes, the Magisters put on the fireworks.
Should be a good display.
Oh yes, nothing quite as magical as Gilderstrand, but still decent.
You know, I don't know if I've ever been in Gilderstrand for the festival. I don't believe I have.
The guild or what?
It's another city.
Oh.
Well, it's a country, but Avila is the city of Gilderstrand that I come from, and they had regular fireworks festivals that are quite... Well, when you combine skywriting with a bunch of other ritual casting, you can make some very interesting firework displays.
Indeed. Must get there someday to see that.
Hi, I would like to travel to such places.
So, tell me a little more about this weather balloon encounter.
Oh, they can fly up to the sky, and they're super cool.
They fly high in the sky, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yes, the ideal location is rather remote, where it's going to sense the weather, and then it gets released on a tether high up in the atmosphere.
He speaks weather balloon. He speaks weather balloon.
Not quite.
Of course, more technical aspects to the process, but that's kind of what I know. I know they use some kind of remote type magic to get the weather information, barometer, temperature, wind speed.
Yes. Things you would need to know. So, how did you all come about the task? Did you meet Did you meet before doing it or after?
We met before. We all met over at the printing shop down the road there. They had left out a letter or two in my ad that I had posted for my employer. The last job that I had to do for my employer, so I was free at the time, and we all just kind of gathered together. Locks brought us together and wanted us to buy some shoes and all that stuff.
Who's your former employer?
I was hired as a guardsman for a barge carrying goods to deliver for the festival.
So you're a freelancer as well, or?
Well, I guess you could say I'm a freelancer. I come from Torak Talmor, or the city of Soulforge.
That's on the mainland, right?
No, actually, roll
not?
a history check, and then I'll tell you how much you know.
Rolling history check. Ooh, that's going to be good.
As I haven't seen a map,
23
I have
total.
no idea.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still working on maps. With the 24, you know that Turok Tamar is a city that is in the northwestern quadrant of the Infinite Isles. And it is, for all intents and purposes, it is the Dwarven shipyard where they produce their steel boats. It is renowned for the craftsmanship that comes from there. And traditionally speaking, the dwarves bring gifts of craftsmanship for city celebrations in order to kind of promote fine dwarven craftsmanship, because one of the ways that Torok Tilmore pays for all the boats that it makes is through people paying for things like ornamental swords, armors.
That definitely rings a bell with my character, I think.
Yeah. So it's part of the dwarven country of Zonrendor, and that is a newly established dwarven country. It borders on Gilderstrand, but it's on the opposite side. The island you are currently on is the most major settlement in the northeastern quadrant.
Okay.
If you want to get Trekkie, they're beta, you're alpha.
I got it. Yes. They're Deep Space Nine, we're not.
Yeah. There you go.
Deep Space Nine?
I suppose it could be Deep Star 6, but
Better than Voyager,
anyway.
right?
I like Voyager.
Oh, me too, but they got lost in the middle of nowhere.
It's true.
They did. They're in the Delta Quadrant.
Just like our conversation.
Okay. We took a left turn at Albuquerque.
We
Go back.
did.
Reminds me of the Weird Al song.
So, you do know where Turok Talmar is, and as well as the fact that it is basically the forge of the dwarven military might, in addition to a fine craftsmanship city. It is supposedly built into a shield volcano that is active still, and the heart of the volcano is used as the forge.
Forge. I love dwarves.
That's us.
Why let this go to waste?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it.
We have both raw material and fire all in one go.
Right?
Very efficient. So, I was hired as a guard on one of the barges. My end goal was to see more of the country, do stuff other than fight battles.
Well, I suppose I congratulate you on your release from your contract.
Yeah.
Is that a cause for celebration?
Why not?
Anything can be.
It's true.
It was a job well done.
That's good. He raises his bottle of grog to clink whatever you're drinking.
I've got a tankard of ale.
Yeah, dwarven ale.
Yeah, there's a couple of things of stout that are around the table. But yours still tastes like cinnamon and sugar.
Hey, man, sweet tooth.
Toast.
How long does prestidigitation last?
1 hour.
1 hour. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go take a 10-minute break while we recycle the router. We're going to hope that Alyssa's monster falls asleep. And good night, Margaret. And then we're all going to come on back at 9:10. And we're going to have options for you guys. If we want to take it light this week, we can do an axe beat race and explore the city. Or if you want to get started on the quarry in the next day, we can get you out that way too.
I'm interested in both.
Okay, cool. All right, everyone. All right, well, I'm going to mute. We'll see everyone back at 9:10.
All right, see you then.